Just a quick SVB Sun Valley Bank SVB Financial Group update. This is their chart basically just in February 22nd. We're talking 20 days ago. This was a $287 stock. It was just up to $300. Boom, down to 106. Surprised they didn't halt it before that. Um, Here's what the deal looks like on the capital that they have. When the banks take in $100, they're only allowed to loan of that capital 15%. That's how much of depositors' money by law they're allowed to loan in America. If the loan is collateralized, secured by something, it's 25%. So, just for argumentative sake, let's say they have 200. Let's say they have $100 billion, which is half what they have in deposits. They loaned out 15 billion on the low end. These are loans that are out there. The money's gone. It's not sitting in the bank anymore. It's been loaned out to some homeowner in Tucson, Arizona, and he's making his monthly payment every month. Keep in mind, 90% of all of the deposits that were made by these companies are uninsured. So right now they're staring at getting none of their money back or not having access to their money because there's a run on the bank. But how much will they get when the FDIC is done with them? Somewhere between 15 and 25% minus their deposit. So a company like Roku, for instance, they had $500 million on deposit. They could easily lose 25% of that, 20% of that. They could lose $100 million that they won't be getting back from SVB Financial Group. They won't be getting it back from the FDIC. It should not be in the bank. What they will get is a voucher that says that they can collect the mortgage payments from Sally and Paul in Tucson, Arizona. And for the next 30 years, I guess those people with the loans, they're going to be paying the receivership. They're going to be still paying their mortgage every month. Let's just hope. And they'll hopefully everyone will keep paying their mortgages. And as that mortgage is slowly collected over the next 20, 30, 10 years, whatever it is, that money will go back to Roku, and eventually they'll become whole again. I don't know how many lawyers are needed. I don't know how many administration fees are needed. It could be another 10, 20%. God only knows. They could turn this thing to a monster loss for everybody. But I would say immediately on Roku's books, for instance, it's $100 million meltdown that they won't see for probably a decade, and they're going to see it the slow way, and they're only going to be getting 3.5% interest on that money. They could have taken that $100 million, obviously, and bought a CD right now and done better. So that is how exposed these companies are. They were legally bound to be between 15 and 25% of the depositors that they were not allowed to loan out. Let's hope they followed that law and that guideline. If they did, that's at least going to limit it to that. That is what's left. Is 75 to 80% of the actual deposits should be left sitting in that bank right now inside that vault. So that's what percentage of everybody's money can be gotten. I don't know if it's coming on the self-serve, first come, first serve basis, like all these people running to the bank to get their money back. Does that really help you get it quicker? Or are they just telling everyone to go away? We'll find out some more updates like that. See if anyone's actually gotten their money back. That'd be interesting if it was first come, first serve. And that way the last people that show up going, okay, I'm here for my, Roku better have somebody in line already. I'm sure they do. Probably been on the phone all day long. But it's going to hurt the books of a lot of companies. It's going to hurt the books to the tune of $1 million to 50 million to $100 million in Roku's case. I'm not even sure they're the biggest. Keep in mind they only had $500 million in there out of $200 billion. So there could be a company with $4 billion in there that's going to lose $1 billion of it, and they may never see it again for 10 to 30 years. Is the government going to bail out $200 billion with a Republican Congress that will say no to that? I don't think the Democrats would say yes to it either. If anybody lobbies for this, I'll be surprised if that happens. Wasn't very popular. Seems like everybody's going to get their money back. It's just going to take a really, really long time, and they are going to take a 15 to 25% beat on the books for it immediately. $200 billion of earnings across God only knows how many companies. You better get their customer list. We're going to do another video with their customer list because that's becoming extremely important. Who's going to lose how much? They're going to have to put that on their next earnings report. That cash vanished. It's not there anymore. At least 20% of it is vanished for decades, possibly. So yeah, 20% of how much cash they had in that bank. Hopefully it wasn't all their cash, but you should see some major hits on the books. It'll hurt the earnings, and that will be have to be a loss, I would imagine. And then they'll slowly take it back on as income over time. So yeah, this really possibly screwed up thousands of companies, hundreds of companies, God only knows. Probably dozens of really, really big ones are distraught, and people don't even know the names of them yet. There are small lists of their holders. I'm going to make another video for that next. Companies to watch out for because they are on the SVB list. And if you're on the SVB list, you don't want to. You're going to get some bad earnings soon. You should know about that before, as soon as possible. So please subscribe to my channel. I'll bring you another video and we'll keep you updated. Thank you, and have a good night. Like the video.